Okay, first of all, I thought that the lesson plan was well done, and it really linked the learning to the IEP and also to the curriculum standards. You did a good job with the use of the iPad so that she could see it more clearly and be able to have the larger print. On the presentation of the lesson, I noticed that you linked it to prior learning by asking them if they had any experience writing or learning about level 1 and level 2 questions. And then you gave some good examples of what those were and gave them the resource to use to look at level 1 and level 2 questions and to kind of have a mini lesson on that before you got into actually having them do it themselves. On the summaries of the stories, they were able to read them by themselves. I noticed that after the first summary, your student had trouble with identifying the level 1 question by herself. So then you guys did that one together, which was, worked on it together, kind of practice for her and helping her to get to reinforce the skill for her. And then, but even in that first summary, she was able to come up with a level 2 question on her own.
Mm-hmm.
In the second summary, she identified both a level 1 and a level 2 question independently, so she was getting much faster at that. You related the skill of questioning, and you gave them a reason for why they would even need to ask those questions or to know how to ask those questions, because later in the story it would help them to comprehend as they were looking for those answers. It would help them with the comprehension of the story, and I thought that was really good. They were engaged. They seemed to enjoy it.
I really excited because she actually asked a question from what she read, and with how low her comprehension is supposed to seem, she shouldn't have even got that.
Right.
And she shouldn't have even known to say, well, who is this? What? She was asking me level 1 questions, and she didn't even know it. So It was very nice to see.
Exactly. She was using the skill without, yes. So I think she enjoyed the lesson. And overall, and then your worksheet or your questions that you asked, I thought were really on target to see if they had understood what you were teaching. So it'll be interesting to see how she did on that.
Actually do.
Yeah. So did you have any? And then at the very end, you asked one more time for them to. You summarized your lesson by asking what the level 1 and level 2 questions identify, or why you would ask those, or what kinds of questions they are, and they were able to do that. So
I'm glad that they could.
So
It's nice.
I thought it was a good lesson.
Thank you.
Did you have any?
Probably just the environment was probably the only thing that I didn't like.
Well,
But
and you didn't have control
you go what you
over
go
that,
with, yeah.
right? Since you're coming into a school and using what they allow you to use, you really don't have control over the
Difficult.
environment. So
It's a lot better than the classroom. It's very distracting in there.
Right.
They have 10 or 15 kids in there at a time. So
right, at least it was quiet and you had a controlled area
Environment,
here.
yeah.
Right. So I think that was good.
I think that's it.